Thank you for watching. Comment any ideas you would like to see in future videos. I'll do my best. Be sure to vote for your favorite merch design. I hope the music was to your liking. Please support the channel so I can afford to branch into other art content and maybe gaming.
25 Best Manhwa-like Solo Leveling You Should Read. Solo Leveling, serialized by Webtoon in 2018, is a major factor that increased the popularity of the manhwa webcomic industry because it presented an interesting, irresistible storyline filled with incredible fights and immensely powerful characters. The story developed from one with a weak, powerless protagonist to a tale featuring a main character with immeasurable powers. The popularity of the series has led many manhwa readers to wonder if there are other manhwa with similar narratives but different plot points. Luckily, there are. These manhwa share similarities with Solo Leveling in terms of an overpowered protagonist, intense fighting scenes, or profound magical abilities. So, if you are looking for manhwa like Solo Leveling, here's a list starting from stories with the least similarities to others with the exact same narratives, all of which are enjoyable reads. 25. Demonic Evolution. Demonic Evolution presents a post-apocalyptic world where humans with supernatural abilities are commonplace and are at war with demonic forces that threaten the destruction of humanity. Set in the futuristic year 3069, the Earth faces a crisis after the invasion of the demons. In the ensuing war for survival and conquest between the humans and the demons, the central character and humanity's greatest warrior, Aang, dies to the demons. However, Aang's fate is not sealed as he awakens 60 years into the future as a teenager with the same name while harboring the power of the most powerful demon. Filled with regret for the actions and mistakes of his past life, Aang vows to get even stronger and eradicate all demons. 24. Leveling with the Gods. Set in a world ruled and dominated by the activities of the mysterious tower, Leveling with the Gods presents the daunting tale of the central character, Kim Yuan, the prodigious warrior and the lone survivor of the battle between the inner and outer gods that ultimately led to humanity's destruction. Defeated and alone, Kim Yuan is presented with another opportunity to correct his mistakes as he returns to the past, to the point where he began as a warrior of the tower. Renewed with vigor and determination, Yuan must conquer the tower once more. However, it remains to be seen if he can prevent humanity's seemingly inevitable fate of destruction. 23. The Player That Can't Level Up. The Player That Can't Level Up takes place in a world bombarded by the supernatural and fantastical. Society is forever altered by the appearance of the mysterious Tower of Babel. With its appearance, humans become able to manifest supernatural powers to climb and try to conquer the tower. One of such humans is the central character, Kim Gi-ju. Delighted at finally receiving his invitation to become a player and unlocking a unique ability, Gi-ju thinks his life of struggles is over as he can finally provide for his sick mother and little sister. However, he seemingly becomes worse off as he cannot increase his level, even after several attempts. After 5 years of serving as the tower's tour guide, Gi-ju discovers an ability to link with egos and raise his level. Armed with his new ability, Kim Gi-ju sets his sights once more on climbing the tower by getting stronger. 22. Swordmaster's Youngest Son. Swordmaster's Youngest Son explores a tale and combination of swordsmanship, magic, and the usual supernatural monsters that seem to always trail after the former and the latter. Centered around the central character and youngest son of the Runcandle household, Jin Runcandle is destined to head the Runcandle household, known as the Clan of Swords and the strongest Swordmaster clan. However, despite his best efforts, Jin can never meet the standards and is banished from the clan. However, he eventually contracts with the guardian deity of the Runcandle clan, Sotret. He is freed from the curse that hindered his abilities, but even that is enough as Jin meets a pitiful end at the hands of a mysterious killer. In the next moment, however, Jin awakens as a baby at a time before his life woes begin. Given a second chance, Jin vows to fulfill the destiny that awaits him. 21. Return to Player. Return to Player explores a tale of mythology combined with the reality of modern society. Humanity lived rather ordinarily until a decade ago when a group of gods turned humanity into players of a deadly and sadistic game of monster killing. One of these such players is the protagonist, Se-en Kim, who has already seen how it all ends, the destruction of all of humanity except for himself. As humanity's last remaining survivor, Se-en is given another chance to go back in time for a second playthrough. This time, however, this joyous game of Death of the Gods will not go as planned, as Se-en is determined to control the threads of fate in this second playthrough. Armed with the experience of the first playthrough, Se-en vows to beat the gods at their own game. 20. Descent of the Demonic Master. The Descent of the Demonic Master revolves around a typical teenager, Jin-ho Kang, whose life was turned upside down when an accident robbed of his family and left him unable to walk. His takes an even more bizarre turn when he reincarnates as the demon master known as the Crimson Emperor. He returns to his previous life after being killed as the Crimson Emperor. Returning to his old life before his accident and the loss of his family, but rather than return as a normal human, Jin-ho returns with all his martial prowess intact. However, he soon finds that monsters are a never-present threat no matter the era. 19. Return of the Mount Datuwa Sect. The martial arts manhwa focuses on the protagonist, Kyung-myeon, who starts as the Plum Blossom Sword Saint of the Mount Hwa sect. The last memories of his life are of a bloody battle against the leader of the demonic cult, Kinma, which almost led to the elimination of the 10 great sects of China. After obtaining a narrow victory against the demonic cult, Kyung-myeon dies as a result of the wounds he suffers. However, he is given another chance at life as he awakens as a child beggar. He is stunned to see what his beloved sect has been reduced to in the present day and vows to do everything he can to restore the sect to its former glory. 18. Tomb Raider King. Human life takes a drastic turn when the mysterious god Tombs begins to appear. Within these tombs are relics that grant their users extraordinary power. Tomb Raider King tells the tale of a man who became the world's most feared Tomb Raider. The series is centered on Juan-Su, a Tomb Raider betrayed and murdered by his employer after he discovers some powerful relics. Juan's life is not done yet as he reawakens 15 years into the past, just around the period the god tombs begin to appear. Retaining all knowledge and experience from his previous life, Juan, motivated by revenge, begins the journey to become the world's most feared relic collector. 17. Solo Necromancy. Solo Necromancy revolves around the central character, Sun-woo, a former Special Forces soldier who returns to college after completing his national service. His ordinary student life comes to a shocking halt when he and everyone else are suddenly faced with a mysterious prompt asking them to choose. With no choice other than to choose, Sun-woo chooses necromancy, and so he becomes a necromancer. With these new abilities and modern society on the verge of literal collapse, Sun-woo decides to use his new skills to protect and save those around him. 16. The World After the Fall. Mysterious towers began to appear worldwide, and within these towers are monsters spawned to destroy humanity. Summoned to these towers are humans called Tower Walkers, presented with a choice in the face of defeat and certain death whether to run or to keep fighting. The story's protagonist, Juan, chooses a fate perhaps worse than death, that is, to keep fighting for the original timeline. Stubbornness or bravery? Only his strength can tell which and whether he will reach the end of the towers remain to be seen. 15. The Second Coming of Gluttony. The Second Coming of Gluttony is a remarkable manhwa series that focuses on character development, which is absent in most manhwa. The protagonist, Seolju, is first revealed to be a gambling addict, heavily disliked by his parents, showing the extent of his depravity. However, Seal begins to approach life differently after he gets a new chance in the Lost Paradise, where he becomes a formidable fighter with overpowered abilities in the form of his 9 eyes. Although The Second Coming of Gluttony is not faithful to its source material, the web novels, it is still an interesting read for fans of Solo Leveling. 14. The God of High School. Most anime fans are well accustomed to this title since this manhwa received an anime adaptation in 2020, which turned out to be disappointing. The manhwa is the better option for fans of God of High School since it hosts the uncut tale of the adventures of Jin Mori and his closely knit friends. The God of High School begins as a story revolving around a martial arts competition for high schoolers worldwide. However, the story soon evolves into one with larger threats, villains, and a power system, known as Triyok. The God of High School features incredibly powerful characters with powers on the level of Sung Jin Woo's. 13. Leviathan. Leviathan is set in an apocalyptic, water-based world, where humans struggle to survive on massive ships while battling against monstrous sea creatures like Genid, the Kraken, Kintrazi, and more. To combat these beastly creatures, humanity created an elite squad consisting of well-trained harpoonists capable of killing the ginormous sea monsters. The story begins with the main protagonist, Bodama, losing his father, a 6-star legendary harpoonist, to a vicious sea monster, Kintrazi. After a near-death experience with Kintrazi, Bodama then decided to train as a harpoonist with Kana, a 3-star harpoonist as his mentor. Leviathan reveals an interesting tale, depicting how the main characters battle against sea creatures while struggling to survive in a world filled with corruption and discrimination. Leviathan has epic fighting scenes and a remarkable art style, so it's a great choice if you want to read a manhwa like Solo Leveling. 12. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Many manhwa series share the same narratives and power systems, which can make these series predictable. However, if manhwa readers are looking for something different with a touch of Solo Leveling vibes, the ideal title is Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. The story's protagonist, Dr. Kim, was a regular salary office worker preoccupied with reading the novel 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse. Shockingly, when the novel's last chapter is released, the world the protagonist lives in changes into that of the novel. Dr. then puts his knowledge of the novel to good use, exploiting the world's secrets to his advantage to increase his chances of survival. 11. Reverse Villain. Reverse Villain is a unique manhwa with a villain as its protagonist. The main character, Young Woo, had one lofty goal, to conquer and lead Morim. But unfortunately, his adversary, Shinra Young, prevents him from accomplishing this task as both of them reincarnate 5 times, only for Young Woo to be repeatedly stopped by Shinra Young. On the 6th reincarnation, Young Woo changes his objective since, in the modern world, Morim no longer exists. So, instead, he focuses on becoming stronger to conquer Shinra Young, his archenemy, once and for all, even if it's not for nation domination. Reverse Villain features an overpowered protagonist similar to Jin Woo from Solo Leveling, so it's a must-read for Solo Leveling fans. 10. Gosu. Gosu is an action comedy series with remarkable fights and advanced martial artists at its epicenter. At first, the protagonist, Ganger Young, seems like a laid-back character with his chubby look and silly behaviors until he starts dishing out deadly moves, capable of destroying forests in one hit. Ganger Young is tasked with the objective of avenging his master, Dr. Young, a powerful martial arts practitioner revered as the Heavenly Destroyer. Ganger Young was his master's last, deadly revenge tool for the enemies that betrayed and almost killed him. Dr. Young taught Gang every last deadly technique in his arsenal, raising a powerful protege with tremendous power. Solo Leveling and Gosu both share the overpowered main character narrative, so it's worth checking out. 9. Tower of God. Tower of God is a popular manhwa authored by Lee Jong-hwa with the pen name SIU. The story started in 2010 and got an anime adaptation in 2020. The series revolves around a mysterious, wish-granting tower that holds great power and fortune for individuals that successfully scale it. The main character, 25th Bam, with an unknown background, is befriended by Rachel, who later abandons him to venture into the tower. However, since Rachel was Bam's first friend, he tried to find her only to be betrayed by her again. This development puts Bam on a different path as he now aims to master Shinsu, the underlying energy of the tower, as a powerful irregular. If you like solo leveling, Tower of God and its robust power system should interest you. 8. Return of the Disaster Class Hero. Solo leveling was released in 2018, and it's been quite a while since the manhwa's ending. So, for readers looking for a new manhwa with as much potential as solo leveling, with an overpowered protagonist to match, Return of the Disaster Class Hero is a must-read. Filled with betrayal and treachery, the manhwa features the return of Lee Gun, who returns to take his revenge on his teammates, the 12 saints who betrayed him by trapping him in a dungeon to fight monsters with incredible regeneration abilities. Due to his immense willpower, Lee Gun escaped from the dungeon, emerging with newfound powers and looks. Now, he intends to show no mercy to treacherous teammates for the pains they put him through. 7. The Boxer. The Boxer is a manhwa serialized on Webtoon since 2019. The story features a cold, talented protagonist, Yu, who is introduced to the boxing world. Despite being new to the boxing world, Yu managed to defeat renowned, experienced boxers due to his incredible skill and fighting abilities. Training under the legendary boxing coach, K, Yu works his way through the boxing world, defeating world-class boxers with ease and finesse, closely similar to the famous Saitama from the One Punch Man series. The Boxer subtly hosts the hard word V. Raw talent ideal using the story's contrasting characters. Yu shares certain similarities with Sung Jin-woo but in the world of sports. Following this similarity, you can add the Boxer to your reading list. 6. The Great Mage returns after 4,000 years. The Great Mage Returns After 4,000 Years is based on the fantasy web novel series starring several powerful characters. The manhwa is based on Lucas Drummond, the 9-star mage who is trapped in the abyss for 4,000 years after his fight with Lord. Luckily, he manages to reincarnate into the body of Frey Blake, who committed suicide to escape from his miserable life. Lucas then starts out his new life with a new personality while training to reach his former power level and surpass it. However, soon, the antagonists of the series, the demigods, resurface again. To combat these powerful beings, Lucas, Frey Blake now tries to speed up his growth as a mage while allying himself with powerful forces to counter the demigods' threat. This narrative is quite similar to Sung Jin-woo's From Solo Leveling and his battles against the monarchs. Based on this note, The Great Mage Returns After 4,000 Years is a must-see for solo leveling fans. 5. Illicid. Illicid is a webtoon series written by Sun Jae-ho and illustrated by Jenna. Illicid is set in a world of the awakened, people with unique abilities disguised from the regular humans. The main character, Ji-woo, a kind-hearted boy with a love for cats, possesses an ability involving speed. Initially, he was unaware that they were people like him until he met Kaden, a powerful ranker in the form of a cat. Soon, Ji-woo is thrust into a different world, a world he really belonged to, featuring powerful individuals and organizations. Training under Kaden and Kurden, Ji-woo sets up to be a powerful awakened, using his incredible speed-based techniques. Illicid is a great mix of action and comedy. The manhwa is quite similar to Solo Leveling, however, it also focuses on friendship. 4. The Legend of the Northern Blade. The Legend of the Northern Blade is a thrilling story laced with sensational fights and abilities, much like Solo Leveling. The manhwa follows the story of Jin Mu-won, alternatively known as Northern Blade, who inherits the title of Generation Sect leader of the Northern Heavenly Sect after his father's death. He was introduced as a weak character with no fortune or martial arts skills to his name. However, Jin Mu-won's hopeless appearance was a fake mask he created himself while secretly training using the widely coveted Gathering of 10 Shadows technique. Years later, Jin Mu-won, after completing his solitary training, Jin Mu-won now makes his appearance in the world of Morim, aiming to crumble the Central Heavenly Alliance, an organization filled with corrupt and ambitious leaders responsible for the death of Jin Mu-won's father. Northern Blade is an interesting read you can check out after solo leveling. 3. The Beginning After the End. The Beginning After the End is often compared with solo leveling due to their striking similarities, even though both stories are set in worlds with different power systems. The Beginning After the End is a reincarnation story based on the web novel, written by Turtle Me. The story stars King Grey, who is reincarnated into the continent of Dickathn, as Arthur Lewin. Using the knowledge of his past life in this new, fantasy world, Arthur mastered the concept of mana quicker than normal, allowing him to become a powerful mage at a young age. The fantasy-lined story presents adventures, fights, and characters that will constantly pique your curiosity. 2. Second Life Ranker. Second Life Ranker is a fantasy series that shares striking similarities with the solo leveling series. However, on the contrary, the manhwa begins on a tragic note. With the protagonist, Yun-woo, suddenly receiving news of his younger brother's death, he is forced to journey into the obelisk to inquire about the tower's secrets and ultimately learn about the cause of his brother's death. The obelisk is a unique tower that grants one magical abilities as they ascend and undergo perilous adventures. Eventually, Yun-woo gains formidable powers and magical abilities, signaling the overpowered protagonist trope present in solo leveling. Second Life Ranker is a must-read for solo leveling fans as it takes readers through solo leveling-like adventures but in a different setting. 1. Nanomachine. Nanomachine is a manhwa series following a protagonist that obtained power in a manner similar to that of Sung Jin-woo. At the start of the series, Kim Yo-woon obtained the Nanomachine, a unique power-up system, from his mysterious descendant. This nanomachine helped Kim Yo-woon learn martial arts in a profound manner. After going through rigorous training, with the nanomachine's aid, Kim was able to master incredible swordsmanship that enabled him to earn the rank of the Vice Lord, heir to the throne of the great heavenly demonic cult. Nanomachine embodies the weak-to-strong theme present in solo leveling. It's the perfect replay of the manhwa but in a different world and setting.
Comment any ideas you would like to see in future videos. I'll do my best. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thank you for watching. Comment any ideas you would like to see in future videos. I'll do my best. Be sure to vote for your favorite merch design. I hope the music was to your liking. Please support the channel so I can afford to branch into other art content and maybe gaming.
Hello. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future content, comment and let me know. I know many are not comfortable with AI art. But, I am saving to gather supplies to delve into other art styles. It will take time. But, I am hoping to get into resin, woodworking, and metalworking. All I ask, please enjoy my videos.